Most people get confused between the opening drives and opening range setup strategies. So in today's video, I'm going to explain exactly the difference between the two and what you need to be looking for in order to take these two strategies. So the opening drive is a setup that you're setting up to take right at the open. So there's certain conditions that the setup needs to follow in order for that trade to work out. So for example, if you're looking at the upside, right, the stock should obviously be moving on the upside. It should have some sort of a catalyst supporting that move on the upside. These are going to be two things that you need to have on that particular stock to take the trade towards the upside. Same thing goes for the downside, right? It has to be outside of a certain level. It should be testing a certain level, and it needs a certain catalyst. Catalyst is going to be some sort of news, upgrade, downgrade. That tells you that the stock has a reason to continue in that particular direction. That is your opening drive, right? In simple terms. And you execute on this right at the open. You see if the buyers are there, if it's on the upside, you see if the sellers are present. You combine all of this information and then you look for an entry towards that particular direction. Now, the opening range on the other side is a setup that you have to wait a certain amount of time to take that trade. For example, there's a 5-minute opening range break, there's 15-minute, there's 30 minutes, and there's also a 60-minute that certain people look to take towards the midday. So basically, if you're looking at the 15-minute opening range, you would draw out the high and the low of the first 15 minutes of the open. And then you would look for the breakout on either side for a trade. And that is called the opening range breakout. So now that you understand the difference between the two, I'm going to show you guys a few setups from today's price action so you can understand exactly which setups worked and which didn't and why. I'm going to show you guys an example of an opening range break versus an opening drive. So here's a chart of PLTR, and you guys can see going into pre-market, we're testing the previous day's low, right? Which was roughly around 128 and slightly below 128. And you guys can see that going into pre-market, this is testing this. Now, it doesn't really have a catalyst, so it's not going to give us that confirmation that we should look for a retest and enter a short position for the opening drive in this. Because it doesn't have any catalyst, going after this is going to be very risky. There could be a supply or demand zone depending on the direction of the stock, and it could bounce or reverse, again, depending if it's a supply or demand zone, right around those levels. So you want to be very, very mindful when you're taking these opening drives. And if either one confirmation is missing, step away from taking those opening drives. So you guys can see at the open, we pretty much bounced off of that level, off that 127, and a very good reversal around that 127. And this went all the way to 133, right? So this is an opening drive that you don't want to take in the direction of the downside because of that level. There's no catalyst. That is the major missing factor in this setup. Now, let's see something that did have some sort of news, which is Apple. They had news with AVGO, right? So you guys can see very similar setup. We go into the pre-market high right around 308, and then we get that pullback. So now when I'm looking at this going into pre-market, my level of entry is going to be the test of 308 for Apple. So if it comes and retests that 308 and I see that the buyers are present, there is a lot of pressure coming in from them, I'm going to most probably go long. And once you go long in this, you can see that this actually worked out. Now, I did take this trade and the premiums didn't move that well today because it had aggressive IV crush, and because of that, the premiums didn't pay at all until very, very later on. By then, I was already out, and this is a perfect opening drive. You have the pre-market, you have news, we get a slight pullback, we get that retest of that pre-market high, buyers are present, volume is there, and we kind of shoot up. The only downside of this trade was the premiums didn't move well, but overall, the setup was perfect. Now, what is the benefit of opening drives? All right, the benefit of taking these type of setups is that if the move is very aggressive, typically the premiums move very, very aggressively. So if we were to compare right around 308 to 310, $2 move, if it happens very aggressively, going from one price to the second price, and especially if it's part of opening drive, your return is going to be very aggressive. So the premiums that I was doing was 310. They were Wednesday's expiration, and they should have moved anywhere between 60 to 80% in this move alone, right? Now, the beauty of opening drive is if you have the right strike. So let's say the 310, and that's the strike that I was in. Once that strike becomes in the money, you're pretty much in a winning trade at that point because the strike is in the money, it's collecting intrinsic value, and the higher it goes, the more return you're gonna make on that trade. So in this particular case, this would have actually netted us a very, very high return. So when you catch an opening drive on a trendy or a momentum-based setup where it keeps trending for the rest of the day, that's where you get the most return, where you see 300 to 500%. instead own those option contracts, especially again, if it's trendy, if it's continuation. Now, the downside of opening drives is there's theta, there's IV crush that's going to take place at the open. So if you get the direction wrong, which is why most people end up losing a lot of money on opening drives, is if they miss, like for example, if there's no catalyst and they're still taking a trade, there's a chance that the trade is not going to work out because there's no fuel for that setup to continue in that direction right off the bat at the open. So if they miss that, what's going to happen is they're going to take a very large loss, because if the premiums, when it goes up, they move very aggressively. If you're wrong and it goes against you, they're going to lose value very aggressively. So let's take this PLTR as an example, right? So for example, if you had taken a short here, this reversal, anywhere between 30 to 50% is gone within seconds. So that's the downside. But on the upside, if you're right, and again, if you have all of your confirmations, it is going to pay very aggressively. That's why this is a very tricky and very risky strategy that I usually tell new traders to kind of stay away from. But a lot of people tend to get confused between this and opening range. So I'll show you an opening range setup, which I will actually break down for you because I took this trade as well. I'll break down for you guys in a trade review in a different video. So this is called the opening range break. All right. So this is the 15 minute, right? You have 5, 10, 15. So this is the high, which is a little bit over 400. So we're going to draw that out. Now this is going to be your 15-minute opening range. So the idea is once this candle closes, now to go short, we want to close below the low. To go long, you want to close above this level, which is that high for the continuation on the upside. That's called the opening range. So depending on the time frame that you're trading, the 5-minute, or if you're somebody who trades the 30-minute, then you would have to wait another 15 minutes. So that would be right here. This would be the high and this still would be the low. So then you would wait for it to break outside of the 30-minute. Then you would take the trade. That's the difference between opening drive and then between opening range 5, 15, and 30-minute. If you're somebody who waits 60 minutes, then you would have to go further and then look at, all right, what is the 60-minute time window for me? All right, so at 10:30 is where it would be 60 minutes. So this is the high, which is around roughly 407. So now you would enter the 60-minute break, which is right here. Now, 60-minute is not something a lot of traders incorporate. It's usually the 5, 15, or 30 minutes, depending on the market condition. So now in this particular setup, right, I had an early entry because I saw buyers were very aggressive going into 400, and that big wall of sellers that was present as we got closer to that 400, buyers took that wall out and we kind of continued, right? So there's obviously early entries involved in opening range breakouts. Once you know how to read the order flow and tape, it becomes much easier for you to evaluate if you're going to take the trade as early trade or you're going to wait for it to break out and hold before you jump in. Because this as well, it was a very small move that we kind of participated in, but it paid net almost 50%. Now, obviously, if we hadn't gotten stopped out, right, this trade could have been ginormous. Again, as long as there's momentum, once you jump in, the earlier you jump in, the better the return is going to be. Like I said, I'll do a trade recap on this on a completely different video, but I wanted to take some time and explain the difference between what is opening drive and what is opening range break. In my opinion, I think somebody who's new should not be taking opening drives. You should watch them. You should learn how to trade them. It is something that you should know how to do, but not your priority as a new trader. You should learn it, paper trade it, try to get the hang of, right, how many times are you following the criteria to enter the trade? How many times is it working? If it's working well for you and you're able to time it, go after these type of setups. But in the first 6 months to a year, avoid them and go for these opening range breakouts, because you can see it's still, Tesla's still going, right? This would have been a very good trade if my stop loss had not been tight. And I don't want to jump too much into it, but I got stopped out right around here and then this thing just, reversed and continued. So if you guys liked this topic, comment below what other topics I should cover. I took a few weeks off from making content, but from this week on, I'm going to be back. Whatever you guys suggest, I'll focus on trying to make content on that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.